The new Age Cannabis podcast starts now.
Today, we'll be talking about cannabis and pain management. And our guest today is the awesome, exemplary Dr. Tuma.
Thank you, Yo. I'm happy you've invited me, and I hope we'll have a good time.
Very glad to have you on the show. And as usual, I have my very beautiful, esteemed co-host, Aku.
Oh, thank you, Yao. How are you doing?
Fantastic, thank you.
Let me begin. Welcome, Dr. C. Who is Dr. C? Can you tell us more about yourself?
I guess I can summarize myself in saying Dr. C is a medical practitioner who is trained in African indigenous healing systems, who is also a botanist pre-medical training, who's currently a public health practitioner who chose to be an integrative wellness practitioner.
Wow, Doc, that is a lot, and that is a mouthful. How do you balance it all?
I'm integrative.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you, what brought you to the plant, to cannabis?
Interestingly, I think fate brought me to cannabis, as I have been brought to the use of many plants. I'm coming from a family of botanists and herbalists, and the herbalist bug caught up with me along my journey as a medical practitioner. When I trained into botany before going to medical school, I didn't know that I would bring it all back at age 50.
Wow. And when you say bring it back, in what context are we talking about?
Right now in my life as an integrative wellness practitioner, I am truly using a knowledge from my training as a plant scientist. I'm using my current training as a herbalist, and I'm using my knowledge as a trained physician all together in bringing health and wellness to my clients.
So today we're talking about cannabis and pain management. Can you tell us more about that, as we know that that's one of your specialities?
Oh, I started having a special interest in pain management, particularly through working with clients with fibromyalgia. That came in my process of being interested in studying human behavior and in understanding the different ways of manifestation of the different states of emotions and different states of minds of patients that were manifesting physically. And I saw that coming out so glaringly in patients with fibromyalgia. And in my journey and quest of trying to find a solution for these frustrated patients, I ended up tapping into my other treatment modalities, and I have found the use of cannabis oil to work very well as part of all the treatment processes and treatment modalities that I've used with patients with fibromyalgia.
Very interesting. And I hear a word there that I'm not too familiar with, fibromyalgia. What exactly is fibromyalgia, and what benefits come with cannabis with regards to fibromyalgia, as you've indicated?
Okay. Fibromyalgia is a disorder that presents with a generalized and extensive pain in the musculoskeletal system. It can be pain in many areas, in the bone, in the tissue, in the fibrous tissue, in the muscle itself. More often than not, you would find the client complaining of just this constant pain, or this pain that comes and goes, or this just continuous pain in more than 4 or 5 or sometimes up to 13 areas of the body, where when you're looking at the pathophysiology of disease, you would think there is no connection in these systems. This extensive generalized pain is usually associated with lack of sleep. It's mostly generally associated with a lot of frustration a lot of mood swings, and sometimes lack of appetite, and generally the pain would come with a mood depressive symptoms on the client. So in essence, you would want to say this is someone who is complaining of pain, but this person has depression, but this person has insomnia, and this person has inability to eat. This person is just having a constellation of symptoms that do not make sense. And previously, fibromyalgia had been sadly understood as a physical manifestation of psychological problems. Hence, for a long time, we've been referring people with fibromyalgia for psychological and psychiatric treatment, not necessarily truly understanding that fibromyalgia is a physical problem.
Wow, Doc. Okay, I hear all of this. You've got a person who has pain issues, sleep issues, mood issues. How do you bring all of that and bring cannabis into the treatment?
Okay, remember, in our body systems, there are sadly some other existing systems that we don't usually talk about in the medical field. We would mostly talk about the renal system, the endocrinal system, we talk about the circulatory system. You've never had anybody talk to you about the energy system, for instance. You've never also heard of anybody talking to you about the endocannabinoid system. So, how fibromyalgia manifests has been proved to be lying on the effects of disruption in the endocannabinoid system. And the truth of the matter is it's not only fibromyalgia that is manifestation of disruptions in the endocannabinoid system. Essentially, you would say any disease form comes from a disruption in that system. But let me speak specifically about fibromyalgia. The endocannabinoid system is the center that controls our flight and fight mechanism as human beings. So when there's disruption there, you are unable to hold the homeostasis between producing hormones and chemicals that would tell your brain that it's time now for flight, or it's time now to fight, or it's time now for stability, relaxation, and propagation. So what the cannabis oil does is to attach to two receptors within the endocannabinoid system, and it enhances and heals that system. So that system brings now homeostasis to the body. It is that homeostasis to the body that would manage your pain perception of the body. It manages your sleep patterns. It helps the appetite center. It also helps your brain to produce the feel-good hormones that actually work on your mood. So in essence, the cannabis oil does not only work on an inflammatory pathway or on an inflammatory chemical. It works to balance the system that brings homeostasis within the body. So you see how now cannabis oil can literally affect many disease mechanisms, and how cannabis oil can give you many effects, particularly now with the people who are suffering fibromyalgia, who have this salad of symptoms they are feeling that are all making them feel restless.
So, Doc, just to, I guess, encapsulate that into layman's terms, cannabis would give the endocannabinoid system a chance to better protect the body and to give users better access to their body to help them with things like pain, anxiety, and depression, which is caused by things like fibromyalgia, if that's what I'm hearing correctly.
Yes, definitely. It actually enhances the endocannabinoid system, which is bringing homeostasis, which is balance within the body through your brain function that talks to the rest of the other systems in your body.
Now, you did mention a few other systems like the renal system, etc. So is there a reason why the endocannabinoid system has not previously been explored by the medical profession, other than the fact that cannabis obviously previously was not allowed to be used for research? Why did that then stop the endocannabinoid system from being researched?
I would come back to you to ask you on why is there no much talk within the medical industry on the energy system and the energy centers in a human being?
I didn't even know about those. So please tell us why.
My belief and understanding, and from reading literature, in summary, I would say, because understanding the energy systems within the human body and understanding the functioning of the endocannabinoid system and how to stabilize and balance these systems, very few people would end up with disease. Remember, disease is nothing more than destabilization of the balancing system. It is dis-ease in the systems. So if we were to be able to balance these systems and to be able to heal the disruptions when there's disruption there, we would hardly need to use any hospitals, we would hardly need to use any drugs. I suppose that would be interesting coming from someone who is a previous drug developer. But the truth is, the body by design is designed by God to be able to heal itself. And any manifestation of disease, including cancer itself, is disruption in the endocannabinoid system and the energy systems of the body. And we have potential to rebuild those systems, and we have potential to heal those systems if we were to be given a chance and if we were to be taught the lifestyle changes that would bring stability to those systems. So I personally think the Western medical practice revolved mostly around pharmaceutical knowledge, and pharmaceutical knowledge is about drugs to heal diseases other than teaching the human body to heal itself.
Thanks, Dr. C. Let's pick up this conversation right after this.
Today's competition is brought to you by Green Age Solutions and BMS Wellness. Stand a chance to win a free pain management consultation with Dr. Kuma. All you need to do is subscribe, tag 2 friends, and tell us why you love the show in the comment section. It's time for Cannabis Quiz.
Fantastic.
I will ask questions and we'll see who has more knowledge about cannabis. Our cannabis guru over here will be challenged by Dr. C. Okay, so this is how it goes. I'll read the question and you call out your name first.
Ready?
Okay. Question number 1. Name an early US president who used cannabis and its use.
Yao. F.D. Roosevelt.
Nope. Dr. C, do you want to try?
Who was the US president using cannabis? I don't know. People who use cannabis have been secretive.
Okay.
Can I get another shot? I need to win. George Washington.
4.
Huh?
The use. What for?
Oh,
For sleep.
Nope.
for happiness.
No. Let me tell you. It was George Washington and he used it for his false teeth.
Oh yes, he had hemp teeth. That's right. I knew that. Okay. Do I get half a point, please? Anybody? Please?
Half a point. Half a point.
Talk about desperation.
Okay. Question number 2. Name one country where cannabis is legal and not considered a drug.
Oh, yeah.
See?
Canada. You said one country. It's a country that's not. I mean,
No. The whole country.
Yeah, Canada.
No?
South Africa.
No.
Let me keep quiet. It's not even my turn.
It's in Canada.
No. Can I tell you?
Yes.
The answer is North Korea.
Because they're not party to the UN treaty, which means it's not a Schedule 5 drug. Interesting. Cool. Okay.
Okay. Question number 3.
This quiz is not fair.
I just hope I win with half a point.
Okay, question number
Yes.
3. What word in the art world is related to cannabis and why? It's very simple, guys.
Okay. Art. Yeah, I'll go with. I have nothing at all.
See? Ja.
Okay, it's really simple. The answer is canvas, and it's actually made out of hemp.
Oh, yes. Painting canvas.
That's right.
Okay, that's interesting. Next.
Okay. Question number 4. What country is believed to be the world's largest producer of marijuana?
Yao. Colombia.
Close.
It's South America. It's Brazil, Ecuador, Venezuela. Mexico.
No.
I'm out.
Think Southern America. South America.
It's not Brazil. Chile.
No.
3 strikes.
Where?
Okay, I'll tell you. It's Paraguay.
How can Paraguay
But it's a
be
small country.
producing?
I knew that.
Are they planting marijuana in all of their land?
The entire strip of Paraguay.
Okay. Question number 5. Which famous playwright is believed to be a marijuana smoker?
Yao. William Shakespeare.
Oh, well done, Yao.
That one I know.
That's why he had all the imagination.
Question number 6. Where is the biggest known weed farm located?
It
Yeah.
must be in Paraguay then.
Biggest weed farm is in China.
No.
Canada?
Yes.
But come on.
That's right. To be specific, in Alberta, Canada. Well done, guys. Yao, you've won by half a point.
But I have half a point too, or if not a full point.
You have I think it was 1.5 to 1.
Yeah.
Just
Half a
terrible
point.
scores, but. Welcome back, everyone. So, Dr. C, where do you see the future of cannabis in South Africa and in the world?
I think we are just in the beginning of opening up and warming up to the use of cannabis in South Africa. As much as cannabis use is currently legalized for personal use, but there's extensive research in using cannabis as a treatment form, particularly within the pain industry. We also have quite a few clinical trials running on the use of cannabis oil in the cancer management industry. And there's generally quite a widespread trialing of cannabis oil. So in the next few years, we anticipating to have quite a huge opening up even on physicians and other practitioners on the use of cannabis. And I think everyone else is going to get more comfortable with the usage as more evidence is brought out by the clinical trials. But right now, there's a huge usage uptake as a topical application, particularly for pain. Use mostly with fibromyalgia management, as I have mentioned before. It's quite used by sufferers of arthritis, all forms of arthritis. And I see many people opening up in using it as a sleep assisting form of therapy. So yeah.
You see lots of big things in the future for cannabis, especially around pain management.
Definitely.
Thank you, Dr. C, for coming. But before we close off, where can one find you?
My clinic is linked on Facebook on the BMS Wellness Dr. C profile. And you can also find me on the Green Age Solutions information link.
And that's our show for today. Thank you for watching the New Age Cannabis podcast. Don't forget to subscribe for updates and more information, especially around the use of cannabis for pain management. Lastly, don't forget to enter our competition to stand a chance to win a free pain management consultation with Dr. C. Good luck.